Hello, everyone. This is Faye, and I sell Medicare plans. Of course, you all know that. And this is the podcast. This is the YouTube channel where everybody who is in Medicare, who is a Medicare insurance professional, comes to actually find out what's going on in the industry. Today, I am so honored. You all know that we've been doing the 6-week book creation program. Yes, all of you have a book inside of you, and you can get it out and get it published in 6 weeks. That's the 6-week book creation program. But I have a first time author here who has been in Medicare for how many years now?
20, 20 years this year.
20. Okay. Wow. You are hitting up there with those numbers almost with me. But
Yes, I
that's
am.
great. That's great. So this is someone who's been in the business long enough that she has a book of business. She knows how to treat the customer. She knows what Medicare is all about, and she knows what the Medicare changes are, and she knows the what, when, how, and why. So let me introduce to you all Valda Braziel. Miss Valda, why did you decide to write this book?
Wow. First of all, thank you, Faye, so much for the invitation to talk with you this afternoon. I'm extremely excited. Today is launch day, and I decided to write the book for a few reasons, primarily because being out in the community, and as Faye said, being in the industry for so long, you still run into people that just have not a clue about what Medicare is. And that certainly is what I do as a broker and as an agent to assist them. But I wanted people to have a better understanding of the basics of Medicare so that some people don't even know the questions to ask by the time they get to an agent or get to a carrier or whatever mechanism they're using. They don't know what to ask. They're totally lost. So I wanted to give them a starting point to be able
Great.
to at least generate some questions to start their thinking about what they should even do. So that's the primary reason I wrote the book. Secondarily, I wanted to be able to celebrate my 20th year in Medicare. And I thought, what better way to do that than to launch my book during my 20th year? So those are the
And
primary
I,
reasons.
I, I had no idea that this was your 20th year. And you're right. That's a great way to celebrate your 20 years is
Yep.
sharing what you have gathered all these years, but most importantly, because the Medicare rules change and the way we go about getting Medicare and applying for it and all those things change. What you have done is you've kept up with all of those things. Tell us now, what is the title of your book?
The title of my book is What, When, Why, and How Unlocking Medicare Like a Pro.
Wow. That is something. And you have put it all in simple terms for people to understand. So it can be actually the consumer, or this book I'm thinking could probably be used. I could use it.
Exactly. It could be used it's written so that it can be used by a brand new Medicare beneficiary, as well as someone who's already on Medicare, because you run into, I'm sure you do as well, you run into people that have been on Medicare and they still don't know what they know they have coverage is all they know, but they really don't know what they have and how it works. So it can be used for someone who's already been on Medicare for a while, and it can be used for the agent that wants to help their customer with the basics of Medicare as well and give them some preliminary reading information. And then they will be able to come in on the back end and help them get a better understanding by sharing plans and whatever the next steps are for that particular client.
Well, that would be very useful for the insurance professionals out here. There's going to be such an opportunity for all of us because there are going to be so many people who will need help, so
Right,
many
exactly.
people who will have questions. And then let us not forget, even though people who are on Medicare don't always know, but you've got what, 10,000 people every month that's going on are becoming eligible for Medicare. And they may
Exactly.
not all be in my neighborhood, but that means that there is a good number of people who are turning 65 who will be eligible for Medicare. And how many times haven't you heard people say, "Oh, I'm getting Medicare, I'll be good to go."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
All the
all they
time.
know.
That's all they know.
That's
And,
all they
and I'm
know.
like, no, that's not true. That's not all you need. You need more than just that Medicare A and B. And but I want that's where the start is. That's all they know. And that's where I'm starting with giving them the basics. That why do you need Medicare? First of all, what it is. And
Mhm.
why when do you need to get it? Under what circumstances? So I basically answer those questions. It's a step by step. What is Medicare? When do you need to get it? Uh, uh, why do you need to get it? And how do you get it? It's a step by step guide on the basics of Medicare to help individuals. And the other category of people that would need this are the children. So when you have the children of those going on Medicare and they don't have a clue, they're trying to help mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and they don't have a clue because they're really not there yet. So maybe they're in their
Right.
40s or late 30s. They really
Hmm.
don't have an understanding. Here they can, grab the book, get the book, and read through the book, and now they can help their loved one um, through the process as well.
That's a new segment that I hadn't thought about. But you're absolutely right because more and more children, adult children, are having to care for and take care of their parents' medical needs and medical issues. And if
Exactly.
they have a better understanding of what is available and how it works, it makes it so much easier for them to help their parents or their loved ones. And then
Exactly.
you have some people who just don't have children and they
Mm-hmm.
need help
Mm-hmm.
and they may listen to a neighbor who has an entirely different situation. It just doesn't work that way.
And then they
Somebody
get
may
misinformation. They end up getting the
definitely.
wrong information and they choose a particular plan or a particular product because your neighbor is on it who is whose life situation is not near theirs at all. So now they're on the wrong plan. Now they have the wrong information and now they're totally messed up.
But what about even someone who listens to their neighbor and the neighbor said, "Well, I'm not paying Part B premium."
Mm-hmm.
So now they don't know why the neighbor isn't paying the Part B premium. The neighbor probably may have Medicare savings. So when they get the letter from Social Security and they say, "You would have to pay," oh no, I'm not paying that. My
Mm-hmm.
neighbor's not paying that. I'm not paying. No, I'm not paying that. So then they are actually putting themselves in jeopardy because they don't understand and they don't know that what applies to one person may not apply to another.
Exactly.
Does
Exactly.
your
And that's the
book
type of
cover?
information that the book does cover. I specifically go through that's the why do you need Medicare? Looking at individual situations, looking at the veteran, looking at the person that may be still working, looking at the person that is just retiring, looking at the person that may be on a spouse's plan. So I'm going through the different individuals, the different scenarios as to why a person may or may not need Medicare. And there's so many different scenarios. So I do break it through. Again, it's a step by step. So you should be able to open the book and find your situation in the book and be able to apply it to yourself. And now you know what to do, when to sign up, why you need to sign up, how to sign up. Phone numbers are in the book, websites are in the book. So you're going to have everything that you need to be able to get you signed up for Medicare.
And then I'm sure you didn't write it all in legalese that made it difficult to read.
You know what? I did not. I've always been in my career. I've always been told by my clients and doing seminars and whatnot that I've always made it very easy to understand. And I purposely did that because, no, of course, as professionals, we know the legalese, we know, all the jargon, and we know what we can and can't say, but people don't understand that. They can't. They tell. I had lawyers saying, "Oh, I got a law degree and I don't understand this information," but you make it so easy. And I think it's necessary for everybody to have a clear, simplified, easy understanding, that maybe a fifth grader could read through the book and get an understanding. And I purposely wrote it that way because I didn't want people to walk away and still be confused.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That was not only gracious of you, but it was thoughtful as well. Because a lot of times that's what happens. And then people don't try to read, they listen to other folk because they don't want to read all that legalese and
Hmm.
still be confused. So it's
Right.
easier for just tell me what it is. So that's where you come in also, Valda. You have spent years in working with your customers, and I'm sure that they trust you. So what you're saying in the book, and they know that you wrote it, gives them that level of confidence that this is somebody I know. This is
Right.
somebody that I know that I have worked with. This is somebody who cares about what happens to me and is not just going to tell me something that's not correct. So, since you put all of your heart into this book, show us that book one more time. Put it up to the camera. Let us see what it looks like. It's on Amazon. Everybody, go and get it.
It's
What,
on Amazon.
when, why, and how unlocking Medicare like a pro. And once you get this book, you will definitely be able to answer questions for yourself or help others. So that means it's for everyone.
It's for everyone. Everyone. And as you know, Faye, certainly Medicare, people on any age at any age can be on Medicare, depending
Yes.
on their situations. So we're not
Mhm.
just talking to seniors or someone who is 65 and older. You could be a younger individual and on Medicare. You still need to get this book.
Absolutely. Do you have the link and everything ready, or just go to Amazon and look for the title of the book? What's the
You can
best way
just
to
go,
get it?
the best way to get it, you can go to Amazon, just type in the title. It's going to pop up for you, and you can just place your order today. It just launched today. So I'm asking you to go ahead and place your order. I will be so happy for you to get your hands on the book. And as Faye said, for everybody, for professionals as well, you will be able to utilize this with your clients.
So, any of you who are watching now or you're watching later, today, August 18th, is actually the launch, and we're going to launch this and throw this out there. When you hear this, when you get this, will you share it with everyone that you know? Share it in the industry, share it with family, share it with friends, share it with your organizations, share it with your churches, share it with your pastors, share it with your ministry leaders, share it with your community leaders, because there are
Exactly.
people who are still trying to help people who are more mature to have food and housing and clothing and live comfortably. And also, they want to be able to help them to make sure that they can get good medical care. So, share it
Exactly.
with anyone that you can think of. This is I Sell Medicare Plans, and we want you to look for the book by Valda Braziel today. Thank you so much for watching with us, and have a great, great, and blessed day.